Coming up, we're going to be amazed by nature, enjoy a riverside treat, also be amazed at how effective camo netting truly is, enjoy a beautiful moment of Gizmo being calm and asleep before he broke out chaos on my eardrums. This could be my most challenging camp yet. Can me and Gizmo spend the night in a tiny bivvy bag? Wish us luck. At the minute, we're struggling to even find about a 3-foot wide space where there isn't somebody stood in it. It's been such beautiful weather here in North Wales and we're at such an iconic, popular location that within about a 700-foot radius of this specific spot now, I swear there are at least 3 people camping. During the previous week, I'd made a shortlist of a few potential campsites around here, which was a good job when I turned up and found somebody already pitched a tent in one of them. This one was excellent, apart from this weakness, a gap in the trees that looked straight on to this popular path. I also checked how solid the ground was to see if it would hold the giant corkscrew that I used to stop Gizmo running off after every little sound he hears. I was pleased at this site to find the only litter was this very old faded can, which I of course took and put in a bin. Gizmo also practiced sleeping in the bivvy bag in the days prior to the trip, although his snoring did worry me. As mentioned previously, this place is so popular that even coming out at sunset wasn't enough to avoid the crowds, but when you look at some of these clips I've taken over the last week, you can probably tell why it's such a popular place to visit, so I don't blame anybody for wanting to be here any time of day. When we got to the campsite for the night, we were certainly both relieved to A, have a drink, and B, find nobody there. What am I pointing the camera at here? Well, zoom in, and believe it or not, that is how invisible this camouflage netting is, even from 10 foot away. I was absolutely amazed. I built this really small little camo netting shield, making sure to not have a straight line at the top, just to directly block the line of sight over to the path, and it was unbelievably effective, as you've seen. As you can probably tell, the light is fading fast, which is all good as far as I'm concerned. So what we're going to do now is just walk for a few miles so that hopefully Gizmo wants to settle down nice and quickly and quietly. We're going to go by the river, I'll give Gizmo a few biscuits for his tea, I'll make myself a nice little hot chocolate and marshmallow drink, and then we'll come back and we'll set up the bivvy. Although I'm sure there are going to be plenty of people going up and down that path. Look at this, there's a barn owl coming. Oh my goodness me. This is amazing. This is absolutely astonishing. It's coming right at me. Oh my goodness me. After the amazing barn owl encounter, we spent a good while walking up and down the riverside path just to allow it to get a little bit darker. Maybe ended up going a bit too dark in the end. But we were just generally scouting out for anybody who was potentially going to be spending the night out there or lighting fires. There were 2 small groups with fires lit, which again, I haven't got a problem with that. I'm not saying that as a big negative or anything, as long as they're being sensible and by the river here especially, away from the absolute tinderbox of dry grass and woodlands that there is basically all over the country at the moment. As with previous camping trips down here, I saw plenty of flashlights and torches going around. Luckily, nobody looking directly at me from a close range this time. But if you're wondering why I came down here, knowing that it was going to be so busy, that's basically because my other half has taken the car on holiday with her, so she's hundreds of miles away with it, so I can only go places within walking distance with Gizmo, and in the current temperatures there's no way I was going to make him walk any great distance, and especially not in the local hilly terrain. As you can see, the bivvy camp took absolutely no time to put up. I even had the sleeping bag ready rolled inside it. I also finally remembered to bring a Sharpie so I could colour in those ridiculously reflective strips on the bivvy, but as you can also see, it made 0 difference. Here at 10 PM it was still 12 degrees, although that temperature did start to rapidly drop later on in the evening. So I gave Gizmo a very quick wash and wiped his legs and his feet down, hoping that we were about to have a nice, calm settling down and beautiful night under a starry sky. As you can see, I was hopeful because Gizmo pretty much straight away got into the bivvy to have a good look, but my goodness me, he was absolutely not for settling. There were two main issues going on here, I think. Firstly, he normally sleeps next to your body or your legs so that there's plenty of contact between you and him and he can be all nestled in nice and cozy. Whereas here, because of the limited airflow, I wanted to make sure he was sleeping up in that well ventilated top section. And secondly, as you're about to see us both hear the same creaking and cracking in the woodland, he had a lot of distractions. Look at that, two panicked boys in a bivvy there. Well, it may have taken 40 minutes, but it looks like Gizmo is finally ready to settle down. And to be fair, it's a beautiful sky up there. We've got a few planets, about a half moon, so visibility's not the best for the stars, but it's not the worst either. And it's just a really crisp, clear environment. It's taken significant time to get to this stage, and we fetched about half of the outdoors in with us, but he is actually settled. Unfortunately, he's insisted, maybe for a feeling of safety or something like that, but he's insisted on being really close, and so he's come down and really sort of pushed into the top of my head and my shoulders and everything. You might be able to tell there's loads of space up between him and the top of the bivvy where I was hoping he would sleep, so there's simply no way I can sleep like this at the moment, but I've just been propped up like this, so I'm not putting any weight on him, just so that he can be happy and settled and hopefully more comfortable in here and then move up when he's ready. Well, my friends, this is now absolutely brilliant. All I had to do was put my arm up to the top of the bivvy so he could rest his head on my hand and have that safety and security. Look at him, he's flat out now. Oh, bless him. Absolutely wonderful. Well, this is now exactly what I'd hoped this experience would be. This is so cosy. I can actually feel it getting quite warm in the bivvy already. After filming these moments here, I turned the lights out and we tried to both get to sleep. I don't know if I did actually get to sleep properly myself, but I can't stress to you enough just how happy, how content and cosy and just how perfect the moment was. Both of us out there huddled up in the absolute silence of nature. And although that silence would be absolutely shattered in about an hour's time, well, what an hour it was. Sorry for this weird out of sequence jump in the video, but I realised while editing this that even though I spoke to the camera for 3 minutes after the actual incident, I never got around to specifically saying what had actually happened, so I better tell you now. And it's not too dramatic. In fact, I think if you were an eyewitness, it would have been quite comical. So me and Gizmo had been dozing there in the absolute silence for a good hour or so, completely lights out. Absolutely brilliant experience. As you've seen, I absolutely loved it. And then all of a sudden, Gizmo suddenly goes, as dogs do, they suddenly become super alert and super sort of on guard. And then, and bearing in mind we're in the bivvy bag, we've been out in the silent countryside for hours at this point, Gizmo starts letting his lungs loose. And so we're in the bivvy bag, I am here, my ears are here, Gizmo is there, and he starts howling and barking as if something terrible is happening. So of course that immediately gives me the ultimate adrenaline rush and panic. So I'm scrambling to open the bivvy, and then he's like out and looking around. I'm like, it's all good, calm down, calm down. Now, bad luck of bad luck, I don't know if this is what had alerted him or if it was something in the vicinity like a fox or something like that had come by. But at that point, there's a late night dog walker, maybe one of the other campers even in this region, walking along the path. So there's a tortured dog and a person there. There's Gizmo going absolutely wild at the top of his voice, and me here going, calm down, shh, you're okay, there's nothing there, it's all good. Of course, like I say, there was no chance I was going to get that on camera at the moment because it was sheer panic from me. But I bet if I'd have had a trail cam or something, this is one of the many reasons that I really want one, but I bet if there was a trail cam set up looking at me, there would have been a moment of absolute comedy gold of me with a dog wildly barking and shouting inside the bivvy, and me trying desperately to prise open a gap in the zip just to end the madness. So yeah, so that's why I was a little bit flustered, and when I was talking in the aftermath, probably hadn't quite composed myself after the shock. And I have a simple zero tolerance policy that if I'm spotted when I'm out and about, I'm leaving. I'm not interested in lying awake worrying if somebody's seen me and if they're going to be coming back with reinforcements to come and rob me or something stupid later on in the night. There's loads of people walking along that path even as I speak right now. So yeah, that's what happened, and unfortunately that's why I don't have a proper nice calm ending to this video. So yeah, not to labour the point, but I basically came away with 3 minutes of this camera angle looking at Gizmo and the Bivvy, repeatedly saying how annoyed and how stupid I was, but at the very least I did get this little humorous clip. My head was there, Gizmo's face was there, my ears were going, yeah, like that, it was, wasn't it, mate? As a final side note here, just look at the extraordinarily effective result adding the camo net to the bivvy bag has. I was really impressed with that, so I actually took the camo net back down with me to record that extra little bit for the end of this video. And look at the results. Bearing in mind here, the camera is looking directly at me in broad daylight at about 15 feet away, and that's how invisible I was. Really impressed. Anyway, I suppose, as Gizmo has now got his hoodie on to make the slow, chilly trek back home, I should wrap this video up. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe, and check out all of my other wild camping, stealth camping, bushcraft and survival videos. Please consider becoming a PayPal supporter, a channel member, a Facebook subscriber, or leaving a super thanks. All of that really helps me out, as I say, especially in these current times. So thank you very much to my recent supporters: Melissa L, Sean B, BL Beach, C Cole, Dawn H, A Sanford, T Seymour, David D and Kaz G. Thank you very much, everybody. It really means the world to me. Until the next time, keep it tent worthy, keep it interesting, have a fantastic day, and of course, farewell.